I want to change what this cookie is. Now, that was looking at the cookie as the cosmos. The cookie is a handiwork of God. Let's change that a bit now. Let's think of it as the cookie is God. Now, not the handiwork, but actually God himself. We've discovered, we've gotten that far, we've gone from the handiwork, now we're looking at the Creator himself. We might now, instead of calling it the cookie of faith, call it the cookie of experience. And we're going to change Psalms. We're going to Psalm 34 now. David is surrounded by his enemies. He is basically, this isn't about God bless me with all kinds of stuff. This is this prayer of survival going on. You ever been there where, I mean, you know, it's great, God bless me with this and that, but when you feel your existence is about to change in a very dramatic way or end altogether, then God becomes a very real cookie. And that's where he is in this. And in the midst of his trouble, this amazing line from David, he says, taste and see that the Lord is good. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in him. Here's what I'd like to do. If we can buy into this, our imagination a little bit. I said this cookie is God, so imagine, just to make a point in this illustration, that we really are the church of the cookie. Can you imagine our church community, the church industry, the church culture of North America now, if we just changed everything but we just say it's for a cookie instead of the literal God, it would probably go something like this. We would now post Sharon's story everywhere just to show that there really are good cookies in this world. And you know, many of us, because you know what, Sharon went to all the trouble. She went down to the fish fry and then she sat in the sun, she ate. Now, that was a lot of work doing all of that. For me, it's enough to know I believe that cookies are good. And I'm glad Sharon, but I'll believe Sharon's story, and that's as far as it goes for me. If anyone ever asks me, do you believe cookies are good? I'll say yes. I know some people who have really had an experience with cookies, and as far as we would go. And then those of us who got together, you know, we probably build really nice places like this. Maybe we would even have on the top of the steeple a cookie, a snickerdoodle right up there on the top. This is the church of the very good cookie. And we would be happy to tell you about good cookies and how this cookie is really something to have. And we would probably come up with some really great music about our cookies. We'd have classics like Give Me That Old-Fashioned Cookie, or maybe Near My Square to Thee. You know, we'd have these great songs. And boy, you know, nobody better mess with our tunes either, because they're classics. And that's how you sing about the cookie, and that is very important. And we'd personalize the cookie. The cookie is my friend. I have a relationship with the cookie as my personal cookie. You know, and we'd be like this, and we would point these things out, and we'd go out in the community, and we'd be nice to people in the name of this cookie and all of this. But the one thing that we wouldn't be doing is saying, taste and see that the Lord is good. See, in here, all of this is secondary. None of this matters unless we taste and see that the Lord is good. The difference, and they nailed it quickly in the first service, the difference between a wonderful testimony of Sharon tasting the cookies and me is firsthand experience. At some point, it must become firsthand experience. And when you think of what the word taste means, what happens is you're tasting, you're consuming something. The senses are involved. We've just come out of John's writings, and it was all about this Christ, this Logos, who I have seen, I have heard, I have listened to, I have touched, and in this case, tasted. All of these things, first-hand experience going on. And as you consume anything, what happens? Well, if you're a lady, you simply say this. It goes straight to my hips, right? For guys, we just, yeah, it's good. But it becomes part of us. At some point when I taste this cookie and it's digested, you cannot separate anymore. The cookie is in me and I am in the cookie, and the identities are merged. Does that not sound a lot like the writings of John we just came through? John was very big of in Christ, you in Christ, Christ in you. The identity, that was the secret of the whole thing, was this firsthand meshed experience. At some point, you and I have to be able to say, I tasted and the Lord is good. At some point, I have to have the experience myself.